They could make the same money, but and in the same profession, but it wouldn't be the same way, no. And I think the main reason for that is the big gap in technology now between people who break the law and the authorities is massive. I mean, they know where we are with the mobiles. They can get into every text message you've made, get into every phone call you've made. So their technology far outstrips that of smugglers. Whereas in the old days, we had more money than the police. We had better equipment, faster boats, faster cars. So it was much, much easier then. It was mainly to wash drug money and mainly to have like a front, a sort of facade to show the tax people and authorities. But the travel agency did make money. That was the only one that did. But they confiscated it all at the end, so it lost money. So, that was the only one, which by chance made money. But generally, it didn't matter whether it made money. Well, of course, they were world well-known bands then, and they still are in those cases. And I didn't know them at the time. I just knew the people who were moving their equipment. But they've all come to my shows since, and come backstage and introduce themselves to me. And they all find it quite funny because they genuinely didn't know. They had no idea. Oh yes, that's happened quite a few times, really. I mean, in particular, I was just thinking this was smuggling money rather than hashish, but hashish that came, money that came from hashish. Where I put it in the back of my trousers, and just going through security, and it had one of those random like that. So he came and searched, and I had a big pile of money, and he missed it. He touched every other part of my body except where the money was. It's quite extraordinary. Yeah. And that's just luck. No. Well, it's very novel. It's very unusual. It's quite exciting. I mean, to me, it's just good. It's just good fun. I mean, I enjoy it. Um, once I wrote my book and sold the TV rights, then I had the idea of a movie in my head. Of course, I didn't expect it ever to be as good as this, but I knew that Reese would play me one day. He used to be the singer for the Super Furry Animals before they became good. And I went to see the Super Furry Animals for the first time, and they brought him along. And so we got together, started talking, and then he bought me a packet of cigarette papers. Okay, I said, "Would you sign these?" I said, "Yes, of course, please." And signed it and give them back to him. He said, "Oh no, everyone, please." So that made a sort of bond, yeah, in a funny way. I thought, "Oh, this guy's funny and nice and things." And my book hadn't come out. He hadn't become an actor, but the agreement we made, and this is on video, I have it, is that should he become an actor, and should my book come out, and should they make a film about it, we agreed that he would play me. So it was very much in our heads only. An academic of some kind. Be, tempted to at least change anything that made my children suffer or, my parents suffer or any friends of mine suffer. I'd be tempted to change it, I suppose, if given the power. But generally, no. I think suffering's part of, what makes you what you are. Um, well, I think the main reason is that it's just safer to society if legalized and controlled. You know, it's just safer, uh, less harmful to society if it's harmful. The same way they deal with alcohol or tobacco or any other commodity. You know, there are essentially four ways of distributing what people want. Well, I'm sure there are some bad people in every organization, you know, including the IRA and the mafia. I'm sure there are some bad people, but there are some good people. Yes, I mean, I have occasionally felt afraid, I suppose, but no more afraid than traveling on EasyJet. I mean, that sort of fear, something could go wrong, you know. But not really in the sense you mean, I don't think, no, no. Thank all the people who bought my book and gave me the opportunity to visit Germany so many times. Just a big thank you, really.